Have you ever just caught yourself daydreaming about, packing up your entire life, moving across the world, and settling down in some picturesque European village? Well, what if I told you that securing your actual dream home there could cost you less than the cup of coffee you bought this morning? Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking the ultimate real estate fantasy, the viral phenomenon of buying a house for literally exactly $1. Okay, let's just dive right into this whole viral expectation versus reality thing that's been completely capturing everyone's imagination online. I mean, it is a masterclass in making you stop scrolling and start dreaming, right? But, as we're going to see by breaking down the fine print of this internet loophole, buying a home for pocket change definitely comes with some massive strings attached. Just think about that number for a second. $1 single. It's the ultimate hook, isn't it? Our brains are basically hardwired to be super skeptical of anything this cheap, yet that dream number just grabs our attention completely. A seemingly impossible price tag of just $1 for an entire property. It's the promise of a life-changing asset for, the literal lint in your pocket. But then, the heavy financial hammer drops. $50,000. Yep, this is the massive hidden cost that instantly shatters that whole $1 illusion. You basically go from feeling like you've just won the real estate lottery to realizing you're staring down the barrel of a massive, 5-figure construction budget. So, the really crucial point here is the stark contradiction in the messaging. The dream of buying a house for $1 is competing directly with a pretty brutal $50,000 reality check. Now, it's not a scam strictly speaking, but it is a very specific type of transaction where the purchase price is, well, it's practically a rounding error compared to the true cost of ownership. Which naturally leads us to kind of pivot away from the initial shock of these numbers. We really have to ask ourselves, why does a $1 house cost so much? Like, what is actually happening between the moment you hand over a single George Washington and the moment you can actually sleep in your new home? To understand this massive financial gap, we really have to explore the physical reality of these properties. To do that, we need to look at where this is actually happening. If you catch the wooden sign and that waving Italian flag, it grounds this whole viral internet myth into a very real geographic location. Various small towns in Italy have actually been using this exact scheme for a while now to repopulate declining rural villages. Basically, they're offering up their abandoned history to anyone willing to take it on. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what you're taking on. Guys, we aren't talking about a property that just needs, a fresh coat of paint and some new carpets. The visual evidence of decay here is absolutely overwhelming. We're looking at crumbling stone facades, missing windows, caved-in roofs, and interiors that are basically open concept by force of nature. You aren't just buying a house, you are literally buying a historic ruin. And to fix up a historic ruin, well, you need a visual metaphor just like this one. See those flying, winged $100 bills? That perfectly explains where that hidden $50,000 goes. It is your renovation budget, taking flight to pay for masons, roofers, plumbers, electricians, and just the massive amount of heavy labor required to bring a 200-year-old crumbling shell up to modern living standards. Let's move to how this builds into the complete journey, because it really is a 3-step process. Step 1, you buy that crumbling, abandoned property for your single dollar. Step 2, you invest that flying $50,000 stack, and let's be real, often much more than that, into massive ground-up renovations. And then step 3 is the payoff. You finally secure that gorgeous, warmly lit, perfectly landscaped dream Italian villa. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. You've seen the ruins, you've seen the flying money, and you've seen the fully restored villa. So is the $50,000 and, honestly, highly stressful reality actually worth the $1 Italian dream? Are you willing to take on the intense labor, the inevitable construction delays, and the real financial burden for your own permanent slice of European paradise? It's a beautiful fantasy for sure, but making it a reality, that requires a whole lot more than just pocket change.